Hi children, how are you all? Welcome in our SS lecture, and we have chapter 10, the postmodern period. So in this chapter we have already learned about that the three powerful kings, the Cholas, Cheras and the Pandyas, and how that struggle happened among them to get the important places. Okay, then we'll see that Indo-Greek or the Bactrians. So first that among that the first among the ruling dynasties of the North India in the north were there were Indo-Greeks or the Bactrians. They were the first ruling over that North India. You know that the rulers of Bactria then and this Parthia, they came and they became very almost completely independent. The rulers of Parthia and the rulers of that Bactrias, they were all independent and they set up a vast and great huge empire. In the second century, they were completely independent and developed in second century. And that with the decline of Seleucids, the power, with the decline of that Seleucid power, they brought most of the part under their control. Means that under their control, they brought most of the part. The most famous Bactrian king was there, that Melinda, and there was a book in that Melinda asked questions to the scholar. He converted himself into the Buddhism. He was the follower and patron of that Buddhism, and the book Melinda was there. The questions that Melinda's question put by Melinda to Nagasena, a famous that Buddhist philosopher. So, whom Melinda was deeply influenced. Melinda King was deeply influenced by that Buddhist scholar, that Nagasena, and a number of Greek that coins have been issued during that time. And that which bear the portraits of king and of also the carry inscriptions of both and that Greek and Kharosthi. So a lot of coins were issued during that time. A new form of art that emerged, that India and the Greek. A new form of art of Indian art and Greek art, and there was a combination of Indian and the Greek art. It was popularly known that Gandhara school of art. The combination of Greek art and the Indian art, it is popularly known as the Gandhara school of art. And as the Greek power declined in northwest, the Sakas, Parthians, and the Kusanas, they all that established themselves in North India. When the Greek prowess it was declined, then three another kings came, that the Kusanas, the Parthians, and the Sakas, they emerged and they set up their vast and great empire. The Sakas were there. The Sakas, they were a great that tribe from the Central Asia, and they set up vast and huge empire, and they controlled over a lot of part of India. Most of the part of India controlled by them, the north part. The Saka kings that means established that Saka powers, and that the Saka kings strongest and that Saka power in Gandhar. The kingdom were there. It was divided in provinces and each provinces had that headman. They were responsible to the king. The king enjoyed that central position. The whole empire was divided into different that it divided into different provinces and then villages, and it was managed greatly by the Saka kings. Then the most famous of the Saka king was Rudradaman, and Rudradaman was the most famous of the Saka kings, and he had inscriptions composed in Sanskrit instead of that more commonly used language Prakrit. He had inscriptions in Sanskrit, but not in that most commonly used language that Prakrit. Parthians. The Parthians came to India from the Iran, and they ruled over most of and major part of that northwest India. They came from Iran and ruled over north and west India. The most famous of that Parthian king was Gondophares, and he was there. He started a vast and great empire during that time. So during this time, the Christian Saint Thomas visited India, and he spread that Christianity in many parts of India. So during this time, the saint said that Thomas visited India, and he spread Christianity in most of the part of India. The Kushanas were there. The first century was there. The Kushana kings emerged, and they set up their vast and great empire. Their vast empire was there. Two capitals. In the first was there Mathura, and second was there present day Peshawar. It is located in Pakistan. The most famous Kushana rulers was there Kanishka, and he was very famous during his time. There was a great patron of that art and literature. He was a great patron of art and literature, and he discovered many that issues that Kanishka was, interested in many cultural activities, and he encouraged art and craft and literature in his time. Sanskrit that literature was influenced during his time. He patronized that Gandhara school of art, and the Ashwaghosa, a famous Sanskrit scholar, was there in his kingdom, and he has written the biography of that Buddha, the Buddha Charit, and love was lived in the court of that Kushanas. That Ashwaghosa, a Sanskrit scholar, was living in his kingdom, and he has written Buddha Charit, the biography of Buddha, and who was living in his time. He was a great patron of art and literature. He encouraged art and literature. He was encouraged that Gandhara school of that art, and the Kushana rulers were there, issued number of gold and silver and copper coins during that time. The silk route was there. The silk was there. It was a very precious thing during that time. The Chinese, it is said, they discovered and they find how to do that silk. So the silk route was there. The trade route, most of that travelers, the way the silk route was the most popular in that time. It was called so because silk was the precious, main item of trade during that time. It was highly demanded and very valuable thing. It was very popular among the Romans. The Chinese were first discovered to make the silk. However, the technique how to make silk it was kept secret for a long time. The travelers were traveling for that route. They keep that the silk with them. Travelers and merchants traveling, they keep silk with them, and the way they were using for that travel for the business, the way was called that silk route. Many rulers tried to capture that rule, but they did not succeed. But many rulers tried to control over that silk route, which way that merchants were traveling, and they always kept silk with them. So many years that travelers to many parts of the world carried silk with them. The travelers traveling in many parts of the world, so they were keeping silk with them. The way many kings tried to capture their route, but they did not succeed. But the rulers that Kusanas were there, they were successful in gaining control over the silk route. During that rule, one that branch of that silk route was there in that kingdom, and it was a port in Asia. So it was used by the Romans. Spread of Buddhism. During this time, the Buddhism religion it was spread during that time. It was spread in a great speed. It was spread. It was popular among the people. That Buddhism spread very greatly. The King Ashoka time. King Ashoka he sent his son and daughter and many other ministers in all over the world to spread that Buddhism in all over the world. So, the propagation of Buddhism it was in great that speed, and that Ashoka he spread that Buddhism well. Buddhism it was divided in two parts, the Hinayana and the Mahayana. The Hinayana that Buddhisms were there, which was depicted in human forms. There was that was not depicted. Hinayana it was not depicted in the human forms. They were that symbols such as the Bodhi tree, that riderless horses, then some natural things are there they worshipping, and Mahayana was there. It was there, it was depicted in the human beings. The statue of Buddha was there. Another main idea was there emerged during the Buddhist time. So that divided into two parts, Hinayana and Mahayana. The Silk Route over there, it was further helped in that promoting that Buddhist religion. On the Silk Route, that along with the traders, some that religious persons and the monasteries and pilgrims also traveling. And Buddhists also spread in Korea, Japan, Thailand, Asia, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and many parts of the world that Buddha religion spread. Many foreign travelers were there. Along with the traders, pilgrims, and missionaries, they also traveled along with the missionaries, and that all traveled on the Silk Route. Some Chinese travelers, Yuan Sang, came into India, and they learned about the Buddhists and brought some books and statues of Buddha with them. They visited the places associated with the called Buddha and collect Buddhist texts. They had an account of and left an account of journalist. Far he went. He came in India during the time of that 5th century, in the time of Chandragupta II. He stayed at Patliputra, and after he returned to China, he translated that some Buddhist texts into that Chinese, and he had all taken with them. Then Yuan Sang, that Yuan Sang came in the 7th century during the time of that Harshvardhana. He visited the great university Nalanda. He stayed there, and when he left to China, at Nalanda University was there present in Bihar. When Yuan Sang left to the China, he had taken many Buddhist texts and some statues of Buddha with him. Unfortunately, his boat was there, capsized, and he was, when he was crossing the river, his boat was there, capsized, and he lost most of the statues. But he spent remaining years in translating that manuscript he had saved through the journey. So many, that some statues of Lord Buddha, unfortunately, he lost. He took many Buddhist manuscripts with him, but some lost when his boat was capsized in that time. Along with Chinese pilgrims, some Chinese came in India, Chinese pilgrims came in India. So there were also Indian pilgrims. They went in that China. They went to China. They mostly there Kumar Rajiva, who visited China and spread that Buddha religion there. And there was a regular exchange of Buddhism pilgrims between India and China. The beginning of Bhakti. Along with that Buddhism, Hinduism also spread in great demand, was widely spread. This was the time that when worship of that Hindu gods like the deities Vishnu, Shiva, Durga, Parvati, Lakshmi, and all that rituals and ceremonies were happening. The idea of Bhakti, it came at important significance of devotion to the God. So in short, that Bhakti movement spread during that time. Anybody, rich and poor, they can do Bhakti with the pure heart. That anybody, poor man, woman, anyone can worship the God. The idea of Bhakti, it finds the nation in the Bhagavad Gita, a holy book of Hindus. Sanskrit word is there. Bhaj means to divide or share. There was a combination of that devotee to the God. The pure heart, and you know that the bhakta of the devotee thus believed in the devotion of God, and he worshipped a God, a single God or goddess with pure heart. So there was a spread of that bhakti movement. Many bhakti saints came and they spread that religion in all over the part of that India and outside India. They spread their messages to the people in their regional language by songs, poems, and many things. And then Bhakti movement started. Yeah, I hope you understand this well. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye.